Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Vishal from Maharaja Agarsen University, Badi, Himachal Pradesh. Today we are going to talk on module Entrepreneurial Development Program from the paper Entrepreneurship Development and Project Management. After studying this module, you will be able to understand the concept of entrepreneurial development programs, which are called as EDPs, the need and objectives of EDPs, the present status of EDPs in India, the role, relevance, and effectiveness of EDPs in the development of the entrepreneur, and various phases of entrepreneurial development programs and the challenges faced on the conduct of EDPs. Entrepreneurship provides the solution to many economic and social problems and also acts as an engine of growth. Entrepreneurship has become an important concern for many countries to achieve the status of economic superpower. It is rightly said that if a country is able to produce an entrepreneur from each of its family, then the economy of that country would be skyrocket. Entrepreneurs generate employment, contribute in the national income, and fulfill the need of the customer and society also. Entrepreneur is considered as one of the most important input or component of economic development of any region, as he or she makes a real difference between the economic development by performing various functions. Economic development of an economy rests on the growth of the entrepreneurship. But the real problem is to make entrepreneurs competent so that they can derive their enterprise in the roads of success. Entrepreneurial development programs are considered as potential solution to these two problems. ADBs not only help in development of entrepreneurship but also help in the development of competences among entrepreneurs. In the following sections, you will discuss in detail about the EDPs and its role in the relevance in the development of entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. For the development of the entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs' attitude and performance is the key. Entrepreneurs' competences make the real difference to the rate of economic and entrepreneurship growth. Entrepreneurial competences are the decisive factors for the success and failure of the entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurial competences help an entrepreneur in meticulous planning, effective implementation, and smooth operation of the enterprise. Competences make an entrepreneur creative and innovative, who always searches for new dimensions of business operations. Students, let's discuss now the concept of entrepreneurial development program. Entrepreneurial development program means program designed to develop entrepreneurial ability among individuals. In other words, EDB means a program which aims to strengthen the entrepreneurial ability of prospective entrepreneur. Entrepreneurial development program helps a person in acquiring skills and developing capabilities to play a role of an effective entrepreneur. EDP refers to program which inculcate, develop and polish the requisite skills into a prospective entrepreneur to establish and run an enterprise. The concept of entrepreneurial development program refers to equip a person with the required knowledge and skills and a change the attitude of a person for running the business successfully. A program which achieves all the above mentioned tasks called EDP. National Institute of Small Industry Extension Training, called as NISIET, Hyderabad, defined EDP as an attempt to develop a person as entrepreneur through structural training. The main objective of such entrepreneurship development program is to develop the entrepreneurship through increasing achievement, motivation, and entrepreneurial skills among less privileged section of the society. On the basis of above definitions and concepts, we can say that EDP is a planned process to identify, impart, develop, and sharpen the competencies which are essentials to run a business among individuals to become a successful entrepreneur. An EDP consists following as an essential component: number 1, need of the program; number 2, main objectives of the program; number 3, design of the program; and number 4, evaluation and feedback. Let's discuss now the relevance of EDPs. To achieve developmental objective, it is important to promote entrepreneurship, and that too in a right direction. To promote entrepreneurship, attracting and motivating entrepreneurs is the first step, and if entrepreneurs are attracted and motivated, then successfully running enterprises is another challenge. Entrepreneurs require some basic characteristics to establish and run an enterprise. Sometimes entrepreneurs able to identify those underlying characteristics, and sometimes they don't. To identify and developing those underlying characteristics, EDPs are very essential, as proved by D. McLean through famous Kakinda experiment. In Kakinada experiment, a proper training was provided to young persons, and after experiment, it was found that they were highly motivated to start their own entrepreneurial activity. This experiment concluded that training through entrepreneurial development programs can develop need for achievement and high motivation, and these has positive impacts on the performance of the entrepreneurs. Other than high motivation and need for achievement, entrepreneurs require necessary competences to achieve success in their initiatives. Competences are underlying characteristics of a person, behavioral aspect of an individual. Basic components of competences are knowledge, skills, and motivation. To inculcate necessary knowledge and skills, EDPs are very helpful as provided in many researches. Now, we will discuss the objectives of EDPs. The main aims and objectives of entrepreneurial development programs are as follows. Number 1, develop entrepreneurship and strengthen the entrepreneurial base and quality. Number 2, promote and develop small scale businesses that encourage self-employment. Number 3, analyzing surrounding environment to identify the opportunities lying in the environmental setup. Number 4, help prospective entrepreneurs to select the type of business and product to run an enterprise. Number 5, train individuals to prepare project proposal or business plans. Number 6, educate prospective entrepreneurs about the process of setting an enterprise. Next, inform about the sources from where entrepreneurs can get the financial and other supports for starting an entrepreneurial activity. Next, developing the entrepreneurial competencies which result in superior business performance. Identification of necessary characteristics of entrepreneurship and inculcate the required ones. Number 10. Develop first generation entrepreneurs who want to start their own business but required some guidance and assistance. Next, to establish the fact that entrepreneurs are made, not born. Next, helps an entrepreneur to choose the best business idea or in establishment of enterprise. Next, develop an entrepreneur so that he or she can select the best location and identify the target customers for business. Next, to motivate an entrepreneur or develop high need achievement. Next, to impart necessary knowledge and skills to successfully run an enterprise. Next, to know the relative advantages and disadvantages of choosing entrepreneurship. Preparing entrepreneurs to deal with the uncertainty in the world of entrepreneurship. Next, develop the broad vision about the entrepreneurship. Next, develop passion for entrepreneurship, dedication, determination, and honesty for business. Next, making aware about the various policies, schemes, and statutory regulations of government for entrepreneurship. Next, inculcating basic managerial skills which are prerequisites of entrepreneurship. Next, prepare entrepreneurs to take fast, accurate, and strategic decisions. Next, enable prospective entrepreneurs to accept the challenges and unforeseen risk of entrepreneurship. Some other objectives of EDPs are: number one, accelerate the pace of economic and industrial development. Number two, transform the Indian economy. Number three, develop the entrepreneurial culture in the society. And number four, develop the sense of social responsibility among prospective entrepreneurs. Let us discuss an overview of EDPs in India. After getting the freedom, government realized the importance of economic freedom and has been trying very hard to solve the problems of vast unemployment, poverty, heavy dependence on agriculture, and regional imbalances. Policymakers identified small-scale business as an alternate to get rid of above-mentioned problems and to boost the economic development process. Since then, this sector is recognized as an employment generation tool. To speed up the process of entrepreneurial development, government decided to provide special incentives and promotional packages to entrepreneurs. These packages were included financial assistance, providing infrastructural support, technical and managerial assistance through various agencies of the government. After launching series of promotional programs, government did not get the desired and expected growth of entrepreneurship and finally realized that promotional packages are necessary but not enough to foster the entrepreneurship. Therefore, focus was shifted towards the development of prospective entrepreneurs or human capabilities and concept of entrepreneurial development program was emerged. The first step in this process was the establishment of Small Industry Extension and Training Institute called as SIET, Hyderabad in 1962, now known as NISIET. This institute, in collaboration with famous behavioral scientist David C. McLean, conducted famous Kakinada experiment and proved that through proper education and training, necessary competencies including knowledge, skills, and need for achievement can be developed in an entrepreneur. This step laid down the foundation of entrepreneurship development program and now has been become a movement as entrepreneurial development program in India. Students, recognizing the relevance of entrepreneurial development programs, Gujarat Industrial Investment Institutions launched a detailed 3 months training program for the entrepreneurs to develop entrepreneurship. The motto of the program was to identify and promote the young talent of potential entrepreneurs. This program was focused on many areas of skills and development of small enterprises, management of business, and generate sufficient profit through small business ideas. Another initiative in this direction was establishment of Northeastern Council called as NEC to promote entrepreneurship in northeastern state of the country. Later on, Northeastern Industrial and Technical Consultancy Organization, which is called as NEITCO, and after that, Entrepreneurial Motivation Training Center called as EMTC were established in the region to boost the process of entrepreneurship. After these initiatives, various institutions were set up under the initiatives of the entrepreneurship development programs like EDIIs, SIDO, and National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, etc. All these institutions are trying to make entrepreneurial development programs as a movement to develop the entrepreneurship in the country so as to achieve the economic development objectives. EDPs are well planned and well organized efforts to develop the entrepreneurs. There is a well devised structure of each EDPs and generally organized for the duration of 6 weeks. It covers the following components to meet the objectives. Number 1. Awareness about entrepreneurship. During EDPs, first of all the participants who are prospective entrepreneurs need to be familiarized with the world of entrepreneurship. All must get information about the various aspects of business, pros and cons, and their role in entrepreneurship. Next, behavioral training. Along with awareness about entrepreneurship, prospective entrepreneurs should go through the behavioral training. The main aim of this training is to induce the high need for achievement and inject confidence among entrepreneurs to take initiative to establish enterprise. It is their behavior which makes the difference in success and failure of the enterprise. Number 3. Inculcating skills. Only competent entrepreneur can succeed in his venture. For the long run survival, entrepreneurs should be imparted with necessary knowledge and skills during the entrepreneurial development programs. Various types of skills like technical, managerial, human resource, and operational skills are required to become a successful entrepreneur. Knowledge about process and services. The prospective entrepreneurs must be informed about the process of setting an enterprise and support services available to them to implement their ideas. They need to inform about the various government agencies and the process of approaching them to get necessary assistance. Business plan and feasibility analysis. After knowing the basics of entrepreneurship, prospective entrepreneurs need to educate about the preparation of business plan and further analyzing the feasibility of that plan. They must be educated about the various aspects of business plan and the parameters on which the plan is evaluated. Practical exposure. To get the practical exposure, entrepreneurs are exposed with real life situations during EDPs. This step helps them to familiarize with the practical environment, personality of the entrepreneur, his or her attitude, behavior, and approach towards entrepreneurship. Now let's discuss the stages or phases of entrepreneurial development programs. Entrepreneurial development program is divided into various stages to fulfill its objectives, and following are the stages of EDPs. Number 1, pre-training phase. During this phase of EDPs, preparation of conduct is done. This stage of EDP includes identification and selection of prospective entrepreneurs through various procedures like conducting psychological tests, thematic aptitude tests, and interviews, etc. Arrangements of the necessary equipments and resources to organize the program, formation of various committees for the smooth conduct of training program, pre-survey of potential entrepreneurial opportunities, devising the course content for the program. Training phase. At this stage, prospective entrepreneurs are provided with the necessary training to run the enterprise successfully. During training phase, efforts are made to change the behavior and attitude of the entrepreneurs. Focus is on the development of need for high achievement or motivation to take initiatives and become a successful entrepreneur. This phase aims at answering questions like what are his basic traits, what kind of competencies he or she requires, how he or she behaves in complicated situations, what kind of knowledge and skills trainees possesses. During this phase, trainees are also exposed to the practical situations and completed many tasks which are required to set up an enterprise. Evaluation phase. Whether the underlying objectives of the EDP are achieved or not. This evaluation is done at this phase of entrepreneurial development program. At this phase, assessment is done about entrepreneurial orientation of the participants. It is evaluated that how far prospective entrepreneurs are ready to start their own enterprise. During the follow-up process, review of various components of EDPs is done. These components include pre-training components, course contents of the program, satisfaction of the entrepreneurs, and post-training behavior of the prospective entrepreneurs. Students, let us discuss now the challenges for entrepreneurial development programs. No doubt, entrepreneurial development programs are shaping the aspirants of prospective entrepreneurs and contributing in the development of entrepreneurship. If all the underlying objectives of the EDPs are achieved, then India can achieve the status of entrepreneurial society. But EDPs suffer from many problems and faced the following challenges to achieve the desired results. 4. Lack of coordination between the organizer and supportive agencies like banks and other institutions. Number 5. Poor implementation of planning. Number 6. Pre-decided course contents and lack of adaptive training modules. Number 7. Lack of monitoring and proper evaluation of feedback. Number 8. Lack of after training assessment of prospective entrepreneurs and non consideration of entrepreneurs' feedback. So, students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. Attitude and behavior of entrepreneurs can be developed through appropriately designed entrepreneurial development programs. Entrepreneurial development programs involve three basic attributes, and these are: number one, development of need for high achievement; number two, identifying; number three, developing; and number four, sharpening entrepreneurial competences and guidance and assistance on opportunities, identification process of entrepreneurship, and project planning and implementation. The basic objectives of entrepreneurial development programs are to foster entrepreneurship and motivation of entrepreneurs so that they can initiate their own entrepreneurial activities. Government proactive approach and support is essential to make EDPs successful and movement also. EDPs cover various components to fulfill its basic objectives like awareness about entrepreneurship, motivation, training, practical exposure, and feedback, etc. To ensure the success of entrepreneurial development program, proper planning, effective execution, and active participation of participants is the key. Assessment and evaluation of EDPs may help in the growth of entrepreneurship. The simplest and best method of evaluation of EDPs is to find out how many participants have started their own entrepreneurial activities after completing the entrepreneurial development program. Entrepreneurial development program have faced many challenges like low motivation of trainers as well as participants. These must be addressed to achieve the objectives of entrepreneurial development programs.